Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you are, remember you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another Abs Daily News with your hockey coach, your coach Frenchy. Today, episode number 191. What do you have a minute, coach, today? First of all, review game between the San Jose Sharks and the Montreal Canadiens. Underlying number. Watch this one. And then finally, at the end, the preview month of December for the Montreal Canadiens. But before we start, we invite you, don't forget, please, to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Show, and leave me a comments about this episode. And last diving about the first subject of the day. First subject is a recap game between the Sharks and the Montreal Canadiens. Final score, Sharks 4 and the Montreal Canadiens 0. First of all, we have to say it's another bad start for the Montreal Canadiens. Right away, they gave a first goal of the game at the beginning of the first period, less of 5 minutes. A turnover at the neutral zone, and then Joel Edmondson did not cover his guy in front of the net, and then Zuski, a Doc, they flip over. I'm going to show to you what I'm talking about at the end of this first subject. We want to talk about Allen constantly struggling between the pipe for the Montreal Canadiens. For me, he didn't make the big save to keep the Montreal Canadiens in the game until to the end, because at some point it was only 1-0 for the Sharks, and unfortunately he gave 2 goals in 1 minute 15, and that was a turnover of this game against Montreal Canadiens. Then I want to talk about the first line struggle. Each one of them, Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki, and Gerby Doc, are -3 yesterday against the San Jose Sharks. Then the power play, guys, 0-6 against the Sharks, 1-17 in the last 4 games, and 2-20 in the last 5 games. And this is an area where the Montreal Canadiens, unfortunately, could tie the game. But the turnover of this game, guys, it was at the beginning of the third period. Montreal Canadiens had a 5-3 for over 51 seconds, and we got 0 shot on the net. Only 1 attempt. I think at some point they need to shoot the puck in the net. They only move the puck, change the position, Suzuki, Doc, Madison, Caulfield, and Monahan, and they cannot find a way to bring some kind of structure to go in front of the net. They ask a lot of questions about Martin St. Louis, and the Montreal Canadiens are really different. They don't practice a lot of power play with the coaches. It's more usually Martin St. Louis, after the practice, they let their 5 players, unit number 1, to practice by themselves, and they don't have a lot of direction. He want these players, they own their power play, and they create those kinds of situations for them. At some point, he said, we have to figure out other avenues, but usually we let the player to figure out by themselves what he should do. So obviously, they did not execute very well against the San Jose Sharks yesterday. I want to go with now the number of the game. You can see Montreal Canadiens, they dominate on the shooting on the net attempts against San Jose. The CF percentage, guy, was over 62% versus 37. Then the high danger chance, and Montreal Canadiens have only 7 versus 12 for the San Jose Sharks. And finally, the XGF percentage was the San Jose Sharks have 63 over 36 for the Montreal Canadiens. So again, those numbers does not lie when you see the result of the game by the score of 4-0. But I want to finish, guys, the resume of this game by the first goal of the game. Cooley play on the right defenseman. You can see he's always struggled because usually he play left. You're going to see he get beat by Kutcher. He's going to pass the puck to Nieto, and then Caulfield is coming back down. The second picture I want to show to you, Edmondson completely lost Nieto in front of the net. Jake Allen did not close pose with his skate, but again, Edmondson was behind. He cannot figure out to stop the player for the San Jose Sharks. Now, this guy, he turned over. He did not drive to the net. He looked, and that's the problem with the Montreal Canadiens. The last picture, look, Gerby Doc completely at the top left corner of the picture. He turned. He does not want to go in front of the net. The goal is not in yet. They have a battle between Edmondson and Nieto, and Allen tried to cover the post with his left leg's pad, but Doc is out. And look, Zuski, he turned his back. This is the problem with the Montreal Canadiens with the first line for many games now. And this is something they need to get better if they want to perform for the rest of the season. So I just want to share it with you. Really bad game overall for the Montreal Canadiens. It was their last game in November. And that's conclude, guys, my first subject of the day. My next subject, guys, is about the Montreal Canadiens underlying number. And if you think about this, it's not going to be really pretty. I feel for me, for what is coming in December and January, and for the rest of the year, guys, I see Montreal Canadiens finish the best, maybe the bottom 7. So maybe 25th, 26th. But honestly, I will see them more 27, 28, 29. At least other team really struggle. Why? Because here we go, guys. They are on the power play, guys, 32 at the bottom. Expected goal per 60 minutes at the bottom. Then they are at the bottom on the high danger scoring chance per 60 minutes on power play. Then they are at the bottom at the shots attempt per 60 minutes on power play. Then they are 31st unblocked shot attempts, 31st shot on goal, and 31st on goal per 60 minutes. All this guy on power play. And this one area they need to get better. And you don't have a great special team, it does not need to work. The percentage of power play is built almost 50%. They are right now 29, I believe, in NHL. But again, those different analytic number are not going to make the Montreal Canadiens better. Finally, I want to share it with you with other analytic number stat. The Montreal Canadiens on the XGF percentage, on HDSC, and a CF percentage, where it's a 3 area I just showed to you a little bit earlier against the Sharks. They are almost at the bottom, between 25th and 27th in the standing ranking for each category I just talked about in NHL. It's not pretty. The future with those kind of number is not going to turn around to win many games in NHL if they continue to not to produce those kind of number. I just want to share with you a really quickly underlying number. I really believe a little bit what the team look like. I'm not saying because those numbers are going to lose all the game. I'm not saying they are not very good. But if they want to have a possibility or opportunity to win more game, they will have to get better at those areas I just mentioned to you. And that's conclude, guys, my second subject of the day. My last subject of the day, guys, is about the preview month of the Montreal Canadiens in December. First of all, this is a little bit a stat I got about the toughness schedule for each team for the rest of the season. Most of the game they left is 61, 62, 60, 62, 60, 61 for the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal Canadiens right now in the NHL they are number 6 with the toughest schedule for the rest. You can see at the bottom, they have to play again the Boston Bruins, New Jersey Devils, the Seattle Kraken, Colorado, Toronto, and the Vegas Golden Knights. That gives you an idea of the toughness. Of course, they have other teams to play at the bottom. But again, it's not going to be easy with Ottawa Senators. They have 4 games to go against them. Yes, now they play against San Jose. They lost. They have 1 more game to go. So I will give you just an idea. Montreal Canadiens are not going to be easier for the rest of the year to play against other teams. Then I want to show you a little bit more, go deeper for the month of December. They play 15 games, 4 at home, 11 on the road, 3 games only at the bottom team. So I'm talking about 32, 31, 30, 29, and 28 in the standing in NHL. Only 3 games. The rest, it's all below. And that's going to be a little bit complicated with the Montreal Canadiens. But I'm not done yet. Their first trip start this Thursday against the Calgary Flame. They go to Saturday, Edmonton. They play Monday, Tuesday, back-to-back game, Vancouver Canucks and the Seattle Kraken. How many games they can win? Maybe 1, look like for me. It will be really a difficult first 4 game in month December. Then it's not over, guys. They are coming back home. They're going to play the Kings, the Calgary. They go a back-to-back game. They go to Ottawa. They return to finishing Anaheim and Tampa Bay. This is the between December 10 to December 17. Then they are back on the road, and they're going to go at the middle of the states in USA. Arizona, Colorado, and Dallas. Dallas number 1 Central, Colorado number 2, and Arizona. It's not an easy team to play again. Finally, after Christmas, during the holidays, it's going to be in Tampa and Florida, and they play the last game against the Washington Capitals. If you look about each team in front of you guys, not many games they can win. But I want to go a little bit more deeper. What are you talking about, Coach? Here we go. They have this month a 3-time a back-to-back game. They have 3-time 3-game and 4 nights. They have 2-time 4-game and 6 night. And finally, they have 1-time 5-game and 8 nights. If you think about this, it's going to be a really difficult month for December. And for me, if they can win 6 games on 9, I'll be shocked. I predict more 4 to 5 game, possibly lose 1 point or get 1 point, again, tie the game versus other team. But from what I just explained and showed to you guys for the month of December, Montreal going to possibly to lose, play maybe 400. And that would bring them maybe at the end, like maybe 14, 18, and 3 at the end of the month. It's going to be now around 25th in the standing overall for NHL. Again, I could be wrong. I don't see this turnaround to be really positive for the Montreal in December. He's going to have a lot of rubber for Jake Allen and Samuel Montembeault for this month. Both of them to perform if Montreal have a better success during the month, and the first line have to show up and the rookies have to consistent performing. My prediction, guys, I will go this way: 5, 8, and 2. 12 points on the possibility of 30 points on my eyes on this month, that December, for the Montreal Canadiens. And that's conclude, guys, all my subject I have for you today on this episode. Here we go, guys. This concludes my episode. Hopefully you will enjoy it. We talk about, of course, the recap game between the Sharks and the Habs, then underlying number, and finally the preview month of December for the Montreal Canadiens. And hopefully you enjoy it. But before we leave, we want to remind you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to Hockey Nation Live Show. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about my 3 subjects today. And of course, I want to remind you, you have greatness inside of you. I wish you an amazing blessing day, everybody.